Howdy there friends, Tristan here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10 things you should do when visiting Austin, Texas. Now I've been born and raised in Austin, Texas, so that means I'm a unicorn. That is just what the locals call people who are born and raised here, because the city has exploded so much in the past 20-something years that it is very rare to find someone who's actually been born and raised here. So hopefully all my experience living here will be handy when giving you some tips on the 10 things that you should do when visiting Austin. So I'll be starting out at number 10 and going down to number 1. So starting out at number 10, I'm going to say get a good old-fashioned tour of Austin, Texas, preferably with your bike tours or with a Segway tour. I've personally been on a Segway tour, and they get you around on a Segway, let you hit all the hot spots of Austin, a great way to see the city. However, there's this new thing that I haven't been on, but I've heard great reviews about, and that is called Your Biker Gang. It is a bike rental company that also serves as a tour guide. It lets you rent these big fat-wheeled electric motorbikes. Just because it's a motorcycle, it lets you get around Austin a little bit quicker, cover a little bit more ground than you can on a Segway. You'll see all the cool destinations, the capital, get a little bit of history. It's something that I'd recommend, and something that I wouldn't recommend is don't get a duck boat tour. So I've also been on a duck boat tour. We had some family in town and we wanted to show them the city, so we thought hey, you know, let's show them on a duck boat tour. You know, it's kind of a big thing to do here in Austin. And I'm not gonna lie, it was absolutely horrible. I hated it. We went around, they said, oh, like this famous person used to live here, this famous person used to live here, they do live here. Matthew McConaughey, you know, he used to live down that street, but he put a restraining order on us, so you know, you can't see his house. It was a lot of talk, not a lot of actual things that you could actually see. They took you down 6th Street, which is like a big party street here, which I'll talk about later. But I was really underwhelmed by the duck boat tour, so if you're coming to Austin, I recommend don't go on a duck boat tour. The 9th thing I'd recommend you do when visiting Austin is go to the Circuit of America's COTA karting. Circuit of the Americas is an F1 track here in Austin. It's actually the only F1 track in the entire US. It brings a lot of traffic to Austin. It's a really cool time, but anyways, at the Circuit of Americas, that's where they hosted at. There is a go-karting place. You can go race little, it's like bumper cars, go-karts type of things. These go-karts actually go 55 miles per hour, so it's like some actual like legit racing. It's a really cool, fun track. I will say, of all this entire list, this is the only thing on the list I have not yet done here in Austin, but definitely something I'd like to experience. Now, the next 8 things, all things that I have a little bit more experience about. Coming in at number 8, and that is rent a boat and go to Devil's Cove. So really just rent a boat here in Austin. We have some amazing lakes. I would say Lake Travis is definitely the biggest lake and the one that's most popular for boat rentals, but there's this little cove, actually not, it's a pretty big cove, but a cove in Lake Travis called Devil's Cove, and it's known for just kind of being an area where everyone goes, parks their boat, hangs out, has a good time. It's kind of like a little bit of a party cove. You know, you're not going to be tubing or skiing in that cove, but you are in Austin. I totally recommend you come check out a lake, enjoy a lake here. Beautiful weather, especially in the spring and summertime, and you know, it is often hot here in Texas, so the lake is a great place to be. Now, next up on my list, the 7th place. The 7th place I think you should go when visiting Austin is actually 6th Street. So I know it's a little confusing, but anyways, alright, 6th Street. I'm sure if you're coming to Austin, you've probably heard of 6th Street. It is the big, crazy, wild party street that Austin's known for. It's honestly, I'd say, one of the biggest party streets in America. I mean, you know, there's like the Strip in Vegas, Bourbon Street, stuff like that, but 6th Street is right up there. I'm gonna give you a little inside scoop on 6th Street because it is not all the crazy wild party that you think it might be. So there are actually 3 different sections to 6th Street that you might want to check out depending on what you're looking for. So 6th Street, when people think of 6th Street, it's also referred to as Dirty 6. Just search Dirty 6 on Google, you know, it'll come up. This is like where there's just like several blocks of just straight bars, tattoo shops, and you know, maybe, you know, some drunk food if you want. 36 is the craziest part of 6th Street. That is where, you know, if you're young, if you're in college, maybe if you're at a bachelor party or something, maybe a bachelorette party, that's where you want to go. It's wild, but it is dirty. I mean, the drinks there are cheap. There's lots of homeless people. The homeless shelter is just a block away. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be a lot of homeless people. It's definitely kind of a rougher area, but you know, it can be a lot of fun. Now, if you want to have a really fun time, still go out to bars and be on 6th, go to West 6th. It's maybe about a mile down west on 6th Street. The biggest bar there is called Buford's, but there's a ton of other bars there, probably about 10 different bars in about a 1 or 2 block area, and it's definitely a lot more classy. I'd say go here if you want to have a good night, you know, go out, have fun, you know, not just like sit at a bar, you know, it's like stand-up fun bar, but it's not necessarily like as clubby as Dirty 6. It's definitely a lot nicer. Drinks will be a little bit more expensive, but that's where I'd recommend maybe if you are like 25 to like, I don't know, 40, or you just don't want to have, I don't know, you want more nicer bars to go to. People seem to outgrow Dirty 6 when they're still pretty young. I mean, I'm 21 and I'm starting to head over to West 6 when I go out instead of Dirty 6, but anyways. Now the 3rd part of 6th Street that I recommend you go to while you're here is the, well, and I'm not recommending you go to all these, I'm just saying pick which one you like the most, but that would be East 6. East 6 is east of I-35. I think White Horse is a popular bar over there. East 6 is all about dive bars. There's a lot of like smaller dive bars, not really a developed area. Definitely not have like a clubby feeling. I mean, come on, you know what a dive bar like. If you want to go to dive bars, go to East 6. Alright, now the 6th place I'd recommend you check out while you're here in Austin, Texas is called Esther's Follies. Esther's Follies is a comedy show here. It's actually on 6th Street, on Dirty 6. It's like the building, it's on the very corner of Dirty 6. So like once you pass Esther's Follies, then that's where all the bars are at. But anyways, Esther's Follies is a hilarious comedy show. They do a lot of political skits. They also like kind of like weave in some magic in there, just like overall like general comedy skits. It's been there forever. I don't know how long. My mom went to college at UT. She's been here for like 30 years. And literally when she was young, she went to Esther's Follies, and then she brought me there maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago. And it's literally the exact same comedy skits, or not all, but they do some skits that she saw 30 years ago, and then, you know, they show now that are absolutely hilarious. So I recommend it. It's probably my favorite comedy show I've ever been to. If you come to Austin, I'd say recommend go to Esther's Follies. You'll have a great time. The shows are, you know, pretty early, like before you go out. Go there, and then if you want to go to 6th Street, West 6th, 36, doesn't matter, East 6th, leave from Esther's Follies after the comedy show and then go out to the bars. It's right there, so you'll already be in the region, and yeah, I think that would just be a good night if you're looking for a fun night out here in Austin. I just want to emphasize real quick how funny Esther's Folly is. Like, it's totally something I recommend you go to. It's so much fun. Like, if you're looking for one thing to do at night that's not just like bar related, Esther's Follies is the one thing I could recommend. It's so funny. Highly recommend it. Like, it is just a great time. Definitely go check it out, look more into it. I'd actually say it's probably the best indoor thing you could do here in Austin, because pretty much everything I'm going to recommend is outdoors in this video. Oh, and referring about how everything's outdoors, I mean, Austin's pretty warm year round, but I would say definitely if you're coming to Austin, try coming in the spring, summer, or fall, not in the winter, because it'll be cold, and like the lake and a couple other things I recommend that are all outdoors, the weather won't be as great for it, especially like some swimming ones. So yeah, if you can come, try avoid coming in the winter. It's definitely the prettiest, I'd say, in the spring, early summer. Alright, now the fifth thing that I'd recommend when here in Austin is go visit the Greenbelt. Alright, so I did a whole video of me being in the Greenbelt. It was me going to Sculpture Falls. I'll link that video in the end card, and I'll also link it in the description below, so, you know, definitely go check it out if you want to see more about what Sculpture Falls / the Greenbelt is like. But pretty much the Greenbelt is my favorite place to go hiking in all of Austin. This beautiful place, pretty close to downtown. You can bring your dog, go hiking, absolutely beautiful. One thing I will say is super important that you need to check before going is go see what the water level is at the Greenbelt, because the Greenbelt is kind of this area, all the water will flow down after a good rain, or, you know, keep on flowing for a couple weeks after a rain. But if you're in a really dry spot in Austin, there's not going to be any water there, and it's a big difference between when there's water and there's not water there, because when there's no water there, you know, it's just kind of like a hiking trail. However, when there is water there, you can go swimming, you can go cliff jumping. I didn't show any cliff jumping in my video, but there is a spot there in the Greenbelt where you can go cliff jumping. We just didn't go there in that video. Oh, and another thing you can do there is rock climbing. If you're big into rock climbing, I'd say go over to the Greenbelt. You can find some great places to go rock climbing. In that video that I did, I only probably covered about a third of it. I mean, I covered a good bit, but you know, it goes, just look at a map online, Google like Austin Greenbelt, you can see a whole map, all the different things there are to do there. Alright, coming in at number 4, and this actually might be what Austin is the most known for, and that is live music. While you're here, you have to go see some live music. Not because our live music is better than anywhere else in the world, but it's just Austin. You know, if you want to experience the city, go see some live music. There's live music literally absolutely everywhere. I would tell you, you know, certain places to go, which I will, but really all you have to do is if you're downtown, just, especially if it's a weekend, just go walk downtown. You'll find some restaurants playing live music. There's literally free live music everywhere in Austin. I will say my favorite live music event is actually right here in Zilker Park. The stage goes right over there, and pretty much it's this huge event. Like, you know, it's free live music. I would say over 10,000 people come, or not, I would say, it's fact, over 10,000 people come here to see whoever's performing. This whole park is packed. It's a great time. However, that only happens once a month in the summer, so you're most likely not going to be here during a Blues on the Green. But if you are, it's one Wednesday once a month. You know, just look up Blues on the Green, Austin, and if you're here, definitely recommend you go to it. Some other live music events here in Austin is there's South by Southwest. That's one of the biggest things Austin is known for. It's 2 weeks around the spring break time, where it's all downtown. You know, there's artists from all over the world, you know, big artists, rising artists, small artists, just all sizes of artists here. We also have ACL, which is actually coming up in just a couple weeks, also hosted here in Zilker Park. But then we also just have a lot of venues where you can see, you know, a little bit bigger artists. You will have to pay to see that live music, but obviously, I mean, we have Stubbs, Emos, Empire, oh, there's a stage at Circuit of the Americas. All those places are areas where you can go pay. You know, every night almost they have someone. I'd say probably about 4 or 5 nights a week they will have somebody at their venue performing, but you know, you're probably gonna have to pay 20-30 bucks a ticket to go see them. But definitely I'd say just roam the streets, find a bar, find a restaurant, anywhere that has live music. Go find yourself a good show, have a couple drinks, a meal, and enjoy some live music in Austin. Alright, drum roll please. We are now down to the best 3, my top 3 recommendations of places you should see while you're here visiting Austin. So, alright, coming in at number 3 is go visit Lady Bird Lake / the hike and bike trail around Lady Bird Lake. Lady Bird Lake is this beautiful lake. It's kind of more of like a river, but I don't know, we call it a lake here. It runs right through the center of Austin. It's actually, you see the buildings right behind me, it's literally in between this park and those buildings right there. Literally right downtown in the city, in the center of Austin. And what I love about it so much is it's actually like not a lake that you can have a motorized vehicle on. There's no homes on it like that. You know, it's all city right there. And the only way to be on the lake is if you have a non-motorized vehicle, or I don't know, vessel, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so like stand-up paddle boards, canoes, kayaks, rower, yeah, rowboats. Anyways, all those things are allowed. Also, you can bring your dog can swim in it. You know, there's some dog parks right on the lake. Absolutely a beautiful lake. So definitely check it out while you're here. However, if you don't want to get in the water, near the water, or I don't know, just water's not your thing, maybe it's cold outside, go check the hike and bike trail around it. So the hike and bike trail, there'll be a lot of people jogging, exercising, also people riding bikes, and also you can just walk it if you want. But it's a really nice, well done path that goes all the way around the lake. You know, depending on like when you turn, you know, it's like 6 or 13 or more miles. I don't know. It can be a pretty long hike if you want it to be, but you can also, you know, make it as short as you want. Either way, while you're doing it, you're going to be in great, just beautiful nature. They've done a really good job. Lady Bird Johnson, actually, who it's named after, has done a great job of preserving the area around it. And then on top of that, you also get a great view of the city because you're so close to Austin. You're literally right downtown while you're walking around it. Now, one thing you haven't heard me talk about is the bats. You know, that's what Austin's known for. Everyone knows about the awesome bats of Austin, right? Well, that actually is not number 2 or number 1. That didn't make my list at all, and that's because the bats here kind of suck. Yeah, I said it. You know, everyone tells you to go see the bats here in Austin, but I really disagree. Living here, I've been around like downtown when they've flown a lot of times, and I've never been impressed with how many come out. You know, you see all these great like pictures and videos of just like bats just swarming out of the bridge, but like for me personally, I mean, I've probably seen them like 6, 7 times. I've never seen the bats do it like that. I know there's like bat season, not bat season, pretty much like in the winter, they go down to Mexico and then they come back. Believe me, I've been here like during bat season many times. I've had family and friends come visit me in Austin. I've tried showing them the bats, and every time I go to watch them, they don't fly. Or I take that back. They do fly, but it's just not as impressive as like you see in the pictures. You know, you'll see a couple of them scurry out, then you'll see like a little cloud of them come out. They don't just all come out as like this big cloud and go into the city. It's not nearly as visible or cool as you might think. So I definitely say if you are wanting to see the bats, just don't like make a big event out of it. Like if you do see them and they're awesome, like you hit the jackpot. That's awesome, great for you. I've lived here for 21 years and I still haven't seen them like as good as they are in some of the videos. Sorry if I'm getting wind in this. As you can tell, it's pretty windy right now and I'm scared my camera's really picking up that wind sound. So anyways, back to the hike and bike trail, the lake. So the bridge goes right over Lady Bird Lake, that beautiful lake I'm talking about. So what I would say is rent out a kayak, rent a stand-up paddleboard. Have a whole day or half a day, you know, several hours walking around that hike and bike trail or being on the lake, and then go, especially if you're like on a stand-up paddleboard or kayak right over to the bridges where all these bats are going to come out. So you're going to be chilling on the lake, looking, don't be under the bridge, you know, you don't a bunch of bat shit on you, but no, be right next to the bridge, and you can see all these bats flying out from the bridge. Every time I've been there to watching it, there's always been people on the lake watching them, and that's what I wish I have done when watching them, because even if they don't fly, at least, you know, you're on the lake having a good time, and if they do fly, then even better. So I would just say don't make a big event out of seeing the bats. If you see them, great. If not, don't be too sad. Don't set your expectations for the bats too high. Alright, now that I've crushed your dreams about seeing sick millions of bats, you know, pouring out of a bridge, making clouds, anyways, moving on to number 2, and that is go to Rainey Street. Rainey Street is another sick bar street here in Austin, Texas. And it's actually my favorite bar street in all of Austin. It is super cool, super unique, really hipster. Pretty much what it is it's this street where there used to be a lot of houses, and they've taken all these houses and turned them into really like unique, hipster, just like, I don't know how to say it. Just look at these pictures. Really cool bars. My favorite bar on Rainey Street has this slide that goes from the second story down to the first story. Ours just has some really unique things that you won't see in other places. I will say it's not as rowdy as 6th Street, but it's definitely a more like classy, fun place to go. I would say the target demographic there is young adults, people maybe like 25 to 35, but people of all ages go there. I mean, it's super fun. I know my parents have been there before. I will say every single bar you go there has something really unique and special to it. So there's not like one awesome bar that like you have to go to this bar, but they're all just like really cool, and they have, you know, some like little spin to them, some little twist, I don't know, something that makes them unique. I've never seen a bar street anything like Rainey Street, and so if you come to Austin and you're wanting any street to go party on, especially if you're wanting to like day drink or hang out, you know, get some drinks during the day, definitely go and check out Rainey Street. You've probably noticed in this video I've talked a lot about like bars and, you know, places to go, but I haven't talked about any food, and that's because I did a whole video on the best food that you should be eating in Austin, Texas. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put it in the end card, and I'll also link it in the description below. It talks about some of the best food trucks and some of the best restaurants, best barbecue, best Tex-Mex, best places you should go to get your eats and treats while you're here in Austin. Alright, now before we get to number 1, I want to talk about my honorable mention place where you should go while you're here in Austin, Texas, and that is where I am right now, Zilker Park. So I'll just show you around a little quick. Zilker Park is a place where a lot of people hang out, you know, plays different games. Right here you can see the great view of Austin behind us. I don't know if you see, there's tons of people playing soccer. This hill right here is a hill where a lot of people go and play with their dogs or watch the sunset over the city. Or you don't really see it set over the city, it sets over there, but it sets pointing towards the city. Anyway, it is a great park. Probably where I'd say of all these places I'm talking about in this video where I spend most of my time personally. I absolutely love it here. However, why I'm not including it in this video is because when I come here, I go play volleyball with friends on the sand volleyball course. I play ultimate frisbee. I do stuff like that. If you're visiting here, you know, you don't have groups or people to do stuff with. So really, it's honestly like for a visitor, it's not necessarily a good park to visit. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a great view of the the city. If you like parks, come here. But there's not like benches. There's not things to do at this park. There's not like restaurants here, you know, or not, restaurants. And they're like snack areas. There's not much you can do besides just walk around. Unless you have some friends that you want to throw a football with, kick a soccer ball, throw frisbee, stuff like that. Then I totally recommend coming here because it's awesome. It's a freaking amazing park, but it's just not necessarily as like friendly to visitors as it is to people who are local, you know, who might have a dog or something like that. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for, number 1. And fun fact, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I've actually said in a previous video this is the best spot in Austin. So if you've been with me for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but that is Barton Springs. Now, when talking about Barton Springs, I'm going to break it into 2 parts. Barton Springs Part A and Barton Springs Part B. So Barton Springs Part A is the pool. That is the pool part of Barton Springs. It is a natural spring that the city's kind of built a little like pool around. I mean, it's still like a natural spring, but they've just kind of, you know, added cement around it. So you can actually, it's literally 5-minute walk to my left, like actually not even a 3-minute walk to my left. It's right here downtown. So the good things about the pool part of Barton Springs is, well, it's deep, it's clear, it's beautiful water. You know, there's a little like green grass pasture area they've made. There's a diving board, great place to swim. However, the downsides of Barton Springs Part A, the pool part, is that you have to pay to get in, number 1. I don't think you can bring alcohol in, so you know, you gotta be a little bit sneaky if you want to do that. And second of all is you can't really bring floats, like maybe like a tube or something to float in, but you can't bring like stand-up paddleboards and stuff. It is a pool. I mean, it's a spring, but they've kind of made it into a pool, so it's a confined amount of space. Now talking about the other part of Barton Springs Part B is what I'm going to call it. It's also known as Barton Creek. I don't like calling it Barton Creek just because there are other parts of Austin called Barton Creek. It is the part of Barton Springs that is in between Lady Bird Lake, as I told you, and the spring part. So like pretty much the spring comes up, they trap it in the pool, and then all that flows out. That little stretch of area right there, that beautiful, cold, crystal clear water, but it's more of like a lake field. That is my absolute number 1 favorite part of Austin. I did a whole little video where I kind of show that area, and I'll link that in the description below if you want to see it. But yeah, some advantages of that is you can rent stand-up paddleboards, you can rent canoes, kayaks, you can bring your own drinks. On top of that, it's free. Really the only bad thing is, I mean, you don't have your own bathroom, you're gonna have to go to some porta potties, which are, I don't know, about a 5-minute walk. There's also like rope swings. There's a bridge you can jump off. I did some flips off of that bridge in the video. Awesome, amazing bridge you can jump off of. It's technically illegal, but like everybody does it. Honestly, if you want to have a whole day at Barton Springs, go to the pool at first and then go to the spring. I think for people who aren't Austin residents, it costs like $8 to get into Barton Springs, so really cheap still. I hope these tips help you when you're here visiting Austin, Texas. It is truly a great city and I love it here. Hook 'em horns. If you want to learn more about Austin before you come, you know, check out those videos which I mentioned and I'm linking in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.